So I'm gonna be like 90% certain with you guys. I personally think that every person who's been to college and lived in dorms all know that they're not very well built. So let's talk about the time that my building got evacuated due to carbon monoxide poisoning. The setting was February 28th, 2022, which is actually my 19th birthday. So originally it started off as a pretty normal day. I wake up at like 9 in the morning to go to my 10 a.m., which is online, so I could have woken up at like 9:50 and not even showered. But I like being up to task. And then eventually it all accumulates to me going home at 5 o'clock because I have a math tutor since I suck at math. And it was going to be a pretty normal looking day. Let's just say around 6 o'clock before I went to work out, I started noticing my vision was getting a little funky, and I was like, oh, this is weird. And this is not what's supposed to happen to me. So originally I was like, maybe it's just stress. I got an exam coming up. Maybe I should go relax. I have a project due in a week. Maybe I should go work out to relieve some stress. So I went to the gym in my dorm building. It's a very tiny one. It has like 4 treadmills and also a few like weights and places work out muscles if you're one of those guys. I just like running. Anyway, so around like the quarter time, when I do my rest period of working out, which is just walking for like 5 minutes, I started noticing my breathing was a little funny. Nothing to be worried about. Maybe I just worked out a little too much. Could have been that. And then an alarm went off. I'm gonna reenact what it said. Warning, please evacuate the building immediately. CO2 has been detected. Or if it was CO, I don't really know the periodic table of elements that well. I'm a film major, guys. And basically, we were told to evacuate. And that's exactly what happened. I evacuated the building pretty quickly because I was right next to the entrance. And then I caught up with my roommates, who I will not be disclosing their names, and we couldn't find our roommate, who's the person who shares my room with me, and we were all a little worried about him, but we later found out he got it fine. Well, yeah, it sucked because, I had to evacuate. I couldn't even change into my clothes. I was still wearing my sweaty fucking workout clothes from working out, and it was freezing. It was like 30 degrees out. It was not, guys, it was not fun. So eventually we were told to just keep going down because we didn't know exactly the state of the building. We found apparently it was at a pretty high level to where if you were in there for more than 5 minutes, once they found out, you would have gotten sick. But anyway, after that, we slowly evacuated the building, and then we slowly, fell asleep. Okay, I'm joking. We didn't fall asleep. We went to another dorm building, one that was under construction for a while, but was given the okay to at least house us temporarily. Like it had working plumbing, and it had in the main areas. You can essentially use it for a temporary period of time. It was not going to be a temporary period of time. So then we quickly realized that we were going to be stuck there all night. And pretty much me and my friends were pretty much already debating on not getting any sleep tonight. So we did the classic tried and true college thing. We did just two truths. Two truths, which if you guys don't know, is basically when nobody wants to do crazy dares, you pretty much have two truths, which is one truth. One truth is more mundane, and the second one's a little more, I guess you could say, saucy. I always picked the mundane ones because I didn't really want to answer all the weird questions because I'm not about that kind of life. And yeah, essentially around like 4 a.m., we were told, oh yeah, we still don't know the state of the building. We don't know if you guys will go home, so try to get some sleep in these buildings. And guys, if you know anything about dorm room beds, especially without any memory foam padding or any padding at all, these beds are about as comfortable as a piece of paper as laying on the floor with a piece of paper as your sheet. It was terrible, guy. It was awful, and I cannot recommend sleeping on dorm room mattresses unless you have no choice. So basically, around 4 a.m., we were given blankets and stuff and a few very shitty pillows to try and get some sleep. And yeah, around 4 a.m., I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try and get some sleep. I got a 6 in the morning, 6 a.m. Gonna try and make it there in time. That didn't happen. I ended up emailing the teacher like an hour before saying I will not be able to make it to class due to this situation. And my teacher was like, yeah, no problem. This is why I love college professors. They are way more nicer. But yeah, around 4 a.m., I decided to sleep on these really shitty dorm mattresses that had no padding and no extra sheets. It was pretty much just a blanket and a pillow that I was given. So I tried to get some sleep, and around 5 a.m., I got a very large bang on the door. I ignored it, obviously, because I was like, dude, I'm trying to sleep, just leave me alone. And eventually, we were told we were given the clear to go back. And I found out my roommate was going back too. My other two roommates actually left to go back to their houses because they lived pretty close. So they were like, yeah, we're dipping. And I mean, I live pretty close to my college too, but like, it was like 11 o'clock. My mom ain't gonna do anything to get me home. Anyway, what essentially happened after that was uh, was basically we were told that we could go back, and it was safe. But we were told to leave the windows open and just try to get some rest. Chances of us going to school tomorrow were slim. Classes did not cancel on their own. We had to email professors telling them we could not make it in time. And at this point, I was just done. My birthday was already going so fantastic with the amount of shit I had to do for homework on my own birthday. Like, God, you think they would have, it's my birthday. Come on, guys, be nice. And having the carbon monoxide leak was pretty much the icing on the cake for that day. Apparently, my friends were all shocked that I didn't tell them, even though I clearly remember telling them that it was on February 28th. But yeah, so eventually I quickly and swiftly went to bed at 6 in the morning. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to make it to class because clearly this is when I usually wake up for my 8 a.m. So either I just pull an all-nighter and just wake up or I try to get some sleep. I already emailed the teacher, so I'm just going to get some sleep. I wake up 2 hours later at 8 in the morning, and my body was not having it. It was not ready for the day. It was like crying. It was whining. It just wasn't ready. It was refusing to wake up. It was just it just was like nah. So I had to chug 2 energy drinks to even get the like energy to at least move. And eventually, I did have to go to my other two classes. I didn't email them saying, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it." One was asynchronous, so I didn't really actually have to make it in time. And the only class I really had to worry about was my math class, which if you guys know anything about watching this video recently, I really don't like my math class. Like, okay, that'll be a story time for another day about why this math class is a pile of boo. But anyway, so essentially we just had to go. I knew I could at least make it to my math class and my tutoring levels because I was just like, all right, I plan to go to bed really early tonight. And eventually, I have anxiety, so eventually my brain was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if this just happened again while you were in class, or just again later tonight? So eventually I just keeled over and was like, fuck it, I'm letting you win one time. Let my anxiety thoughts win one time. So I called up my mom, being like, yo, I can't stay here for the rest of the week. My brain is like freaking out on me. My mom was like, okay, fine. We did have a little bit of a scuffle because, I can't let my anxiety win like that all the time. And I was like, hey, this is the first time something like this has happened where I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. I'll let you win. So I didn't actually. I eventually spent the rest of that week at home. Once again, I live fairly close to my school, so it wasn't that much of a conflict. I didn't have to cancel my email my professor saying I will not be attending school for the rest of the week. I could indeed make it to my classes on time. And I turned in my project for English, and I did okay on that math exam that I had. It all went pretty much according how you'd expect. Life doesn't really go the way you plan, and I guess that's the life lesson here. And also, guys, I do have to condone if you are feeling any of the symptoms carbon monoxide poisoning does get off, please contact your emergency services. This is just so that way YouTube doesn't take down this video for endangerment or something like that. I'm giving you guys important life lessons here. YouTube, chill, please, please. But yeah, I essentially just I essentially went home for that week, and I came back that Sunday ready to start again. But that wasn't the end. You think that's the end of the story, but no. College kids, they they really like to, like, do their petitions and the protests. So the people in my dorm building demanded they get free tuition. And these were not, and no, and let me just clarify that the people who were petitioning the school to to give them free tuition were not even the kids who were sent to the hospital because of the fact that they got the most carbon monoxide effects. These kids just wanted it because, oh, the building isn't safe. I was more on the line of just like, are they going to put in detectors at least next year and put in temporary ones to ensure our safety if this ever happens again? Like, that's all I care about. I just, like, the school's already got our money, so they just be refunding us at this point. I know they have the money, it's a college, but come on, guys, just chill. And I was the only one. I was seen as the only one in the wrong in the situation. People, like, I was asked to sign the petition, and I just politely declined. It was weird. I didn't really care. I was like, you know what, the school, the dorm room this dorm building may have almost killed me, and may have almost took my life, but I'm just lucky to be alive and not have permanent brain damage, because that's what carbon monoxide does. Or maybe I do, because I was exposed to it. I just didn't get the worst effects. I don't know. With the carbon monoxide's a confusing thing. Just the world is confusing. The fucking Jesus Christ. But yeah, shortly after that, I decided to, just to, not sign the petition. They did have this, like, oh, answering questions podium. And originally I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna attend this, because chances of it being, like, genuinely, like, actual answers or just bullshit, it was mostly bullshit from the school trying to cover their asses, because, that's what schools like to do. Will I be disclosing my school's name? No. I don't want to get sued by the school. I could get sued for defamation for this video alone if the school knows this. So I will not be disclosing any information about my personal life in this video. I might actually even cut this part out. But yeah, so essentially what happened next was, it never happened again. It hasn't happened since. They found the leak. They put in it was a boiler in the basement that apparently was 5 years old and has been doing daily routine checks. Let me tell you guys, this information was not disclosed to us when this happened. And, they decided to give us some level of compensation. 100 smackaroos. Which, I was all for, getting free money, free $100, every little bit helps, that was nice, I appreciate the school for at least forking over some of the money they make throughout the year, even if it was like, what, 0.0001% of the money they receive. And eventually, we just have to go on our lives. I'm on spring break now, so I'm not in the dorm building right now. But apparently, anybody who's like had to stay for spring break. Apparently, the building's still given the all clear. Like, they're all fine. Everyone in the building is fine. Just relax. I'm alive, and that's what matters. The fact that I'm still here is very important. And you just have to learn to respect and count your blessings. I guess the lesson of the story is, more buildings should install carbon monoxide detectors in their living, especially if they're apartments. There's so many stories where this just happens and nobody cares. I feel like I'm the first of many storytime videos that will talk about carbon monoxide leaks in their buildings or in their houses because they don't have proper equipment. So make sure to always detect smoke CO2 detectors. Speaking of that, actually, there was an incident where a fake out occurred. Basically, they were installing CO2 detectors, like temporary ones, before they install the main ones. And one of them did go off by accident, so they had to quickly evacuate just to double check. And it was an all clear. They were given the all clear. Hey, it's safe. Kids they don't have to go. It was just a false alarm. They double checked. Everything is fine. But, at least they took it more seriously. And the thing is, yes, it's just weird that this building didn't have CO2 detectors in the first place. They tried to explain something with it. I don't really understand it. But hey, you want to know something $100 can give you? Free laundry, Paul!